with the CDF committee.
How? Under what arrangement?
Under what arrangement?
He sits in Parliament, not at the Fund Committee.
Yes, but he can oversight. He doesn't have to sit.
You oversight at the National Assembly.
No. You don't oversight from the ivory towers. The members of Parliament must work
constitutionally, correct me if I'm wrong, constitutionally, a member of Parliament does not have an individual responsibility to oversight. They have a corporate responsibility to oversight in the National Assembly.
SAmmy Gituku.
Yeah.
When the member of Parliament will not miss, because that's a development program in terms of representation and oversight. Maybe.
What do you mean oversight?
Yeah, of course, the member of Parliament will have to ensure that a project that is proposed by the constituents. By the way, the projects are not decided by the MP. They are decided by the community. They decide what they want.
I'm interested in how you're exercising oversight at the constituency level for a member of Parliament.
For a member of Parliament, if, for example, Gituku, your primary school where you attended, it is agreed that 3 additional classrooms are going to be built. It will be the responsibility of the member of Parliament to ensure and check and ensure that the project is delivered, completed.
How does he ensure that? There's a project
committee. And completion is done.
There's a project committee.
The project committee is the implementing committee. So they are the ones who are implementing. And the implementers cannot oversight itself.
Let's assume the member of Parliament notices there's a problem of implementation. How does he do with that information?
If there are gaps in implementation, then he will have to deal with the CDF committee.
How? Under what arrangement?
Under what arrangement?
He sits in Parliament, not at the Fund Committee.
Yes, but he can oversight. He doesn't have to sit.
You oversight at the National Assembly.
No. You don't oversight from the ivory towers. The members of Parliament must work
constitutionally, correct me if I'm wrong, constitutionally, a member of Parliament does not have an individual responsibility to oversight. They have a corporate responsibility to oversight in the National Assembly.
SAmmy Gituku.
Yeah.
When a member of Parliament is elected from the constituency, he is not pumped out and chased away to operate at the ivory level. Yeah, if members of that community, say for example, you are primary school, identify a project and they want the project to be done, those members of that community are represented by the member of Parliament. And in case of any omission in the implementation of the project, then reference is made to the member of Parliament. And member of Parliament can step in and intervene, ask questions, and seek the necessary intervention measures. And by the end of the day, there would be nothing wrong with members of Parliament supervising proper implementation of the project.
I don't think that's a function.
That's an academic argument.
No, it's not academic. You're talking about the
Constitution. Where we are having problems.
Mheshimiwa SOSSION, there's no problem we are creating here. We're looking for answers. The National Assembly, this is the Constitution under Article 95, the National Assembly exercises oversight over national revenue and its expenditure. There's no way you find the Member of Parliament exercises oversight over national revenue and its expenditure at the constituency level. It talks about the National Assembly.
Let me ask you, Sammy. In Parliament, a Member of Parliament is expected to be visiting the constituency every week. And for that matter, is granted transport and allowance to go to the constituency. What is the Member of Parliament doing at the constituency? Sleeping? You visit projects, you visit people, you engage the people, you look at the programs they are doing, so that then the interpretation that we are trying to make...
That's not a function assigned by the Constitution.
No, these are academic guys who are trying to...
It's by practice. I'm not an academic guy. I'm asking you the question.
No. I'm saying academic because they want to force the members of Parliament to stay permanently in Nairobi. The members of Parliament must move to the community, interact with the people, talk with the people so that they're able to legislate, they're able to oversight, and they're able to represent. Yeah, actually, a member of Parliament, you must be able to visit.
Honestly, you have not explained to me how a Member of Parliament oversights at the constituency, because it's nowhere in law. You oversight at the National Assembly.
The law cannot be over-legislated to give those powers.
Sorry, let me explain. You allocate resources. That's what Honorable Mbui does when they meet as the Committee of Supplies, I think. Then after that, of course, they pass the budget. Then after that, the implementing agencies go ahead and implement. then after implementing, those agencies will file reports and the Auditor General will come and audit. Wait, the Auditor General will raise questions of audit. Take that report to the National Assembly. National Assembly oversights based on the report of the Auditor General. How do you oversight an ongoing project?
You are now presenting a different scenario of auditing via documents and checking what has been done. Nothing stops a member of parliament from visiting a project. Nothing stops a member of parliament from interacting with the project implementation committee. Nothing stops a member of parliament from even addressing the public around the project.
But we can agree.
Nothing stops the member of parliament from engaging the fund management committee in the execution of the project.
But we can agree nothing he does on location has the force of law.
Nothing stops the member of parliament from ensuring that there is timely delivery of the project in the project circle.
Let's speak to...
I think, Sammy,
yes,
we are talking about
I've
the project circle. And where does the member of parliament sit at the project circle level?
If you look at the GCDF law, nowhere.
Of course, it may not be clarified in law, but the member of parliament would be sent.
We must function under the constitution and law. Let's speak to the sitting member of parliament. I mean, how does it work? So you oversight projects in Kathiani?
No, actually, previously the law had given us that mandate, and it was also removed, that we were meant to oversight. And what you've raised here, even though it might seem academic, it also was academic even in the law, and that's why we got rid of it. Some the problem we have with the CDF is a historical problem. And I'm happy that, one of our panelists has taken us back up to the time when it started. In 2003, when the fund was started, members of parliament walked around with a checkbook of CDF in their coat pocket.
In their pockets.
And when they would come across someone who wants bursary, they would pull out the checkbook and give them, sign for them a check. They go and, pay their school fees.
Yeah.
And I think that is the assumption that it's still like that. It has completely changed. The members of parliament no longer have any access to the money. They have no access to the control. They have not access to the implementation. Now the reason why NGCDF succeeds so much is because it's also a fund that has very, very little overheads. Because at the constituency level, the implementers are actually government people, and I've said national executive, because the fund account manager is part of the national executive, is from the CDF board, which of course operates, is a fund, and all funds are controlled by Treasury.
Correct.
The person with the authority to incur expenditure is a district accountant, who's an officer sent to every constituency by Treasury.
Yeah.
The DCC, who is the person responsible for security in the constituencies, is also sits in that committee. Then now a few members of the general public are picked and put in to form the committee. And they are the ones that go around, listen to the views of the public, and get to know what are the gaps or shortcomings that the public would like them to sort. After that, the money is sent to the constituency, and then they implement these projects. When I hear people say that members of parliament are involved in the implementation, I would like to understand exactly where. Yeah. Because it's not in law, and it's also not practical. The only reason, Sam, is that members of parliament will always start